when humans learned to stand together. As the world grew more dangerous, early humans discovered something powerful. Survival alone was possible, but survival together was stronger. Living in groups was not about comfort. It was about increasing chances. More eyes meant danger could be seen earlier. More hands meant food could be gathered faster. More bodies meant predators hesitated. Slowly, without rules, without leaders, humans began to move as one. They learned to walk together, to stop together, to react together. When one person sensed danger, the entire group responded. This connection was not spoken. It was felt. A look, a pause, a sudden stillness. These signals carried meaning. Hunting changed as well. Early humans realized that working together allowed them to face animals much larger than themselves. Not with strength, but with coordination. One distracted, one blocked, another struck. Success was shared, failure was shared, and loss was remembered. When someone was injured, the group slowed. When someone was lost, the group felt the absence. This was new. For the first time, survival included responsibility. Children became the center of this system. They were watched, protected, and carried, not because of emotion alone, but because they represented continuation, a future beyond the present struggle. Elders were also valued, not for strength, but for memory. They remembered paths, mistakes, seasons, and dangers. Their experience reduced risk. Over time, these connections created something deeper. Trust. Trust allowed humans to sleep closer, to share food, to rely on one another, and trust changed behavior. Fear was no longer faced alone. It was faced together. The world outside remained violent, unpredictable, and hostile. But inside the group, something new was forming. A sense of belonging. This was not civilization, not culture, not society, but it was the beginning. The moment humans understood that survival was no longer individual, it was shared. The power humans were never meant to control. For a long time, early humans feared the night more than anything else. Darkness belonged to predators, to cold, to death. But one day, something changed. Fire. At first, it was not created. It was discovered. A tree struck by lightning. A burning branch left behind after a storm. Fire was dangerous, unpredictable, and terrifying. But it was also powerful. Early humans did not understand it, but they understood what it did. It pushed the darkness back. It scared predators away. It brought warmth to cold bodies. Slowly, carefully, they learned to protect it. Fire became something that had to be guarded, fed, and carried, because losing it meant returning to fear. With fire, the night changed. Humans no longer hid until sunrise. They gathered. Faces became visible. Hands moved. Shadows danced. Food changed too. Raw meat became cooked. Easier to eat. Easier to digest. Bodies grew stronger. Energy lasted longer. Fire transformed survival. But it also transformed minds. Around the fire, humans stayed awake longer. They watched. They listened. They began to remember. Moments were no longer only reactions. They became shared experiences. Gestures became communication. Sounds became signals. Firelight created connection. It allowed humans to sit together, without moving, without hunting, without running. For the first time, there was space to think. Fire became more than protection. It became learning. Children watched elders. Elders remembered the past. Mistakes were repeated less. Success was copied more. Knowledge stopped disappearing with death. It stayed. Fire also changed fear. Fear no longer ruled the night completely. It was held back, controlled, not defeated. The world outside was still dangerous, but humans had gained something new. Time. Time to plan. Time to prepare. Time to imagine. Fire did not make humans powerful. It made them patient. Patience changed everything. This was not the end of danger, but it was the beginning of control. A small flame against an endless dark. And for the first time, the dark stepped back. When survival turned into memory. For a long time, early humans lived only for the present. The next meal, the next safe place, the next sunrise. But But slowly, something began to change. Survival was no longer just reaction. It became understanding. Humans started remembering more than danger. They remembered success. Which paths led to water? Which seasons brought animals? Which places meant death? These memories shaped decisions. Before danger arrived, for the first time, humans were not only reacting, they were preparing. Tools became more refined, not just copied, but improved. Fire was no longer only protected. It was planned for. Groups chose where to rest, where to move, and when to wait. This created something new. Continuity. Knowledge no longer disappeared with death. It lived in behavior, in habits, in routine. Children learned more than survival. They learned history, not through words, but through repeated actions, where elders walked, where they stopped, where they refused to go. These choices carried meaning. Over time, humans began to sense time, not just now, but before and after. Loss created memory. Memory created attachment, and attachment created identity. They were no longer just bodies moving through danger. They were groups with shared pasts, shared scars, shared victories. The world remained violent, cold, and unforgiving, but humans had changed. They could adapt faster, learn quicker, and recover stronger. Survival had shaped them, but memory transformed them. This was the quiet beginning of humanity, not marked by cities, not marked by language, but by remembrance, by learning, by passing knowledge forward, and by refusing to disappear. The world never became safe, but humans became resilient, and resilience was enough.